Hey everybody, welcome to summer reading. Yes, we have finally made it to June. Isn't that fantastic? Our theme this year is Reading Colors Your World. So everything we do this year is going to be pretty darn colorful. One thing that we can do to make our world a little more colorful is to throw in little decorations that we can make ourselves quickly, easily, and affordably. Because let's face it, nobody really wants to waste their money out there. These tassels are super fun, super easy to make. I mean, really, it only takes just a few minutes. And these look just as good as the store-bought ones. You can use them for any number of things. You can make a whole bunch and make one of those things that hangs across the window. I don't know. There's lots of cool stuff you can do. And these are really fun to make with littles, with teens, with everybody. Okay, so all you need, really, is some yarn and some scissors. Now, when I start, I'm just going to use my hand. Now, if you want to make really big ones, you could get a piece of cardboard and wrap it around that piece of cardboard 1.5 million times to make a giant tassel, and that would be super, super cool. Something like this you could put on a present that you're giving to somebody, or if you have a ceiling fan that hangs down and you need something to pull, you could use one of these as a ceiling fan pull or a blind pull, whatever. Lots of good stuff. What I'm going to do, since I'm just going to make a little one that's hand-sized, I'm going to put my first string of yarn that whole length of my fingers that I'm going to use. That way this guy will be part of the tassel. He's a little long, that is okay. Long is actually very useful because we can always trim things, we can't make them longer, okay? Just like if you're cooking and you're making something with salt. You can always add more salt, but once it's there forever. Now here's the thing, if you're using yarn, use a lot of yarn. Okay, here we go. So I started winding. See, isn't that easy? Even though I started to mess it up, I was able to fix it real quick. I am not pulling this yarn tight. I'm actually winding very loosely because I don't want it to be, if I stretch my yarn out, when I cut it, it's going to be a lot shorter than I want it. I want my yarn to be happy, and I want it to be about the length that it needs to be. Okay, so once I get about enough. Now, if I wanted to be exact, I could probably count how many times around I go if I am making a whole bunch that I want exactly the same. This is just for fun, so it doesn't matter. Okay. I get a whole bundle of yarn, and I'm going to set it down for just a moment, and then I'm going to cut 2 strings 10 inches to a foot long. I'm not measuring, I'm just eyeballing and cutting. Again, these are things that we can adjust the length on later. Okay. For the first one, I am going to lace this through my ring. I'm going to pull this so they're equal. Okay. I'm going to cross these guys. Start tying a knot. So I did the first part of the knot. I'm going to do the second part of the knot. Easy peasy. Okay? Now, this is eventually going to become the thing that we hang our tassel from. So it's done for the moment. If you want, you could come out to the end. See, I didn't even do a good job getting those things lined up. That is okay. I'm just going to do a quick loopy knot. Pull that guy, and I can trim that. Okay, and it's okay that I'm doing this because now my yarn is all secure, so it is not going to come apart very easily. Okay, this piece of yarn I'm going to use to tie off the top and make this little ball that I always think kind of looks like a doll head. Like you could very easily make this into some sort of a doll. Preferably for a stuffed animal, because that would be super cute too. All right. So I'm going to cross these guys over. Again, just a square knot. And then I can kind of adjust where I want it to fall. How big do I want this loop at the top to be? Okay. If that's too big, then I can adjust this. Pull my string up just a little. That's too much, that's okay. See, it can be fiddly, but mostly it's just fun. Once I get that, this takes practice. Being able to tie and hold at the same time. If you have a friend or a family member who can help, this would be a useful time to bring them in. Okay? Once that's tied, you'll see one of these sides wants to go up and one wants to go down. They don't want to hang very easily. So if I have one, well, these two do, of course, but let's say that I had one that was very wonky. See, this guy had one that wanted to go up and one that wanted to go down. So what I did, and you could use a crochet hook, you could use a little plastic needle, and we're going to, oh, this is the only problem with the yarn. Okay. There we go. It's okay, that's going to get trimmed off. I'm going to push it down underneath my string and pull it on through and let that band hold everything in place. So now my knot can be part of the tassel. Okay? You say it's not a tassel yet, Miss Karissa. That is okay. Because now I get to come with the scissors. This is the fun part. This is the part I actually really like because there's something very satisfying about cutting all those yarns. Now, it looks a little weird. Whoops, get down there. Okay. I want everything to be nice and even. Now, if I were making a whole bunch and I wanted them to be identical, I'd probably get to this stage and stop. Okay? But because we're only making one, okay, doesn't have to be exact because it is, you know, a tassel. But look, they're all almost, whoops, I forgot, I missed one. I did this on the end of my scarf, and it's super fun to come back later and find all the ones I missed. See, just about right. Everything's about even. It's not perfect. That's okay. As I always say, nothing in this world is perfect. But we can make it look like a lot of fun. And now we have this great big tassel that we can use to decorate anything we want. Okay, super easy, super fun. And for our first week, the next thing we're going to do is learn how to make a pom-pom without a pom-pom maker. All these things are really crafty and can be used for projects later. All right, everybody have a good one. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Hey everybody, thank you once again for joining us for our colorful crafts this summer reading, our very first week where we made a tassel and a pom-pom. Your color word, or I should say your password for this week to get your badge for watching the video is Rosy, R-O-S-Y, Rosy. Thank you all very much. You have a great week and we'll see you next Wednesday.